What do you say to people who say, okay, fair enough, you've said that, but what about trying to recompense or help the people who are disadvantaged? Maybe it's happened in the States. I know we're not talking about that. Reparations, doing something for the people who've been disadvantaged in the past by the system of slavery that caused some of the issues that we see. We know that here in the city of Birmingham, a lot of institutions, a lot of wealth was created from that trade. Why not take some of that and compensate some of these ethnic groups that are suffering, that have suffered historically?
I'm guessing the policy they're proposing is to dig up the graves, bring up the actual dead bodies and give them money. Because what happened in the past, it's got nothing to do with us. This argument that they always bring up is collectivism. And all of our ancestors experienced hardship somehow, whether it was based on skin color, or slavery, for example, whether it was just based on poor education system, poor healthcare, lack of freedom, lack of democracy. All of our ancestors went through hardship, and this is our past, obviously. Yes, we are connected to our past and ancestors, but at the same time, if you, as I said, if you live in a free democratic society that we have, doesn't matter about your past in terms of your ancestors, your family, or even technically speaking, where you're born. And this is the problem I had when I was growing up in Lewisham on a council estate. The reason I became what I am now in terms of politically, believing in freedom and opportunity was because of this, but because they kept telling people like me and everyone, all the kids, that, well, you live in this council estate in Lewisham, Southeast London, get used to it. There's no future for you. So if you keep going around telling kids when they grow up in those areas, keep repeating, brainwashing them, a lot of them are going to lose motivation. In reality, no, that's not true. You could still do whatever you want. Just work hard, study hard, behave, don't sell drugs, you'll be fine.
I think it's important. Sorry, can I jump in, Andrew? I think it's important to think as well in terms of reparations, how much are people actually trying to get and who's meant to be getting them? Is it people who are direct descendants of slaves, people who are BAME in Western countries? And again, it's the focus on it's only Western countries being asked to pay reparations. Countries all around the world had the slave trade. A single empire or country will have had a history of slavery at some point. And when we start looking into sort of these historical injustices, where do you draw the lines in terms of reparations? For example, sorry.
So that's the thing. So it's a good point, because you look at this country, how far do we go? Are we just talking about the last 100 years, 200 years because of the British Empire, or historically? Because, you know, if that's the case, then we should probably go to the Scandinavian countries and ask for money because of what they did, the Vikings to this country, or maybe the Romans. We should go to Italy, or the Spanish could go to the Islamic countries in the Middle East because they invaded them. Actually, the Persians could do the same with the Arab world as well. Every country had some sort of invasion, and in terms of slavery as well. We had recent ones, you know, again, I mentioned Spain and other countries as well. China, until the 20th century, they had the traditional version of slavery until the communist revolution, and now they have modern slavery. What is the point of reparation? Are we just, what's the number that will be enough? If we give all the money we have in the budget, trillions of pounds, to all the countries around the world, is that it? Have we now eliminated racism? Are we happy now? Can we move on? Probably not.